do you feel about 8-foot tall humanoid rabbits?
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cheap Smut. My name is Katie Mizell.
And my name is Carl Mizell.
And this is a podcast that doesn't celebrate the holiday, but will definitely read a book about it. Welcome. How are you doing tonight, my dear?
I'm good. I like I said, I got a weird tummy thing going on. You know, like I don't know, like it's just general, like
Yeah.
You know, but other than that,
Yeah, tummy. Yeah, it's a medical
tummy.
diagnosis.
Yeah,
Tummy.
Just a tummy. We bought our children one of those little like tiny houses.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it. You know, spray for hipsters every now and again. Make sure they don't take up residence and start creating content in it. But other than that, I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm good. I mean, I'm bushed. It was a big day.
Yeah, it was.
I took my children, not my children. I took the children down to visit my sister. We've never been to her apartment before, so we drove down what should have been about an hour-long drive, took an hour and 45 minutes because of terrible traffic, but our kids were very well behaved in the car, and I was very proud of them.
Good.
We had a great time. And now that we're home and the kids are asleep, I want to record this podcast and then stop functioning.
I completely agree. And luckily for both of us, we are recording this on Easter weekend. We are jam-packed with activities, so we have something very light and quick. So this is probably going to be a shorter episode than our normal episodes.
Yeah.
Because we've got a lot going on, and I've got to try and turn this episode around real quick.
Right.
We
don't celebrate the holiday, but we do family things on Easter Sunday, and you usually edit on Sundays, so I picked a very short book to give you a very short edit.
I always love a quickie.
Absolutely. Who doesn't love a quickie every now and again? So this week, our quickie is brought to us by the fantastic Dalia Davies and their book, Railed by the Easter Bunny. And it was such a delightful little morsel of quick and dirty fun.
Leaving nothing to the imagination. Just putting it all right there on the front page. On the cover, I mean.
This book is book 1 in a series of 8. The series is The Valley of the Old Gods, and every single book is called Railed by the something.
All right, just again.
Except for the second book. The second book is Banged by the something, but everything else is like railed by the Krampus, railed by the Yule Cat. And that one, I'm pretty sure, is an FFF sapphic Christmas romance, which sounds amazing. And then there's like railed by the Pumpkin King and railed by the Leprechaun. It sounds great. Like the whole series is great, or like this whole series has great potential. And they are all available, so you can go. You don't even really need to read this book if you don't want to. You can dive right into book 2 and just continue on your journey through the Valley of the Old Gods. But we'll start with Railed by the Easter Bunny. This book is available for $3.99 or through Kindle Unlimited. It doesn't have very many trigger warnings. Our only trigger warnings this week are implied domestic abuse, though nothing happens on page, and specific breeding kink. And also, I will add a power imbalance.
I can't wait.
But, I mean, like, that's like saying if you were to fuck God, there would be a power imbalance, you know?
That's because I was listening when you were talking earlier.
Yeah.
And I heard what you said the series was called.
Yeah.
And then you said that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, duh.
Well, duh. Yeah. All right. So let's begin. Our FMC this week, her name is Lily. Very little information is given about Lily with regards to her appearance. She is rich. That's really the only thing.
Well, there's your trigger.
There's
a trigger
warning
you forgot.
Well, no, because this is not capitalism.
Oh, okay. But she is rich.
But she is rich. That's the only thing I know about her. She's rich, and she is not gonna take your shit.
Okay. We were just talking about this with Shannon Elliott about like these really short books. You get little to nothing in the way of description of the characters, more often than not.
Yeah, for these ones, you don't get a ton. I mean, we'll get slightly more of our MMC for obvious reasons, but yeah, you don't get a ton. You just roll right into it. So rolling right into Lily's story begins with her in the middle of a fight with her longtime boyfriend. It's spelled Jamus, but I feel like it's probably like Yamush or something.
How's it spelled?
Jamus, Jamus.
Okay.
But I couldn't find a pronunciation for it that didn't sound like an AI bot that didn't know what it was saying. So whatever. She has been in a relationship with this man for 5 years, and she chose this relationship specifically for its like political and social status, that the political and social status that it would give her, because Jamus is like in charge of the valley. The valley is where they live. That's all the information I have on that.
Okay.
And Jamus is in charge of the valley. He has the power in the valley. How did he get it? I don't really. What does that mean? I have no idea. Does that mean he's more like a mafia boss, or does that mean he's more like a mayor? I don't know. But she's been in a relationship with him, and she is unable to get out of the relationship because he has so much power in the valley. It is abusive.
Oh, okay.
And nobody in. If she tries to leave, like she says in the first chapter, he is staying with her because she has money and he is broke. He has power, but he doesn't have money. She has money, but she doesn't have power. This was a political alliance that turned out to be shit, and now she's trying to leave it.
What kind of valley are they living in where you can have power without money?
The Valley of the Old Gods.
All right. And what the fuck is he? Is he a god?
Well, so he is the descendant of an old god. He is the great-great-great-grandson of Esther, the goddess of spring.
Well, time to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, Jamus.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Right? Exactly. So she has been staying in this relationship essentially because there aren't a lot of alternatives in leaving. Yeah. She says she has enough money to do whatever she wants, but none of the banks in town would give it to her because Jamus has so much power that they'll listen to him. The banks will just listen to him. His money or her money doesn't matter. His power, I guess.
That's confounding.
It is confounding, but it's how this world works, which we just have to accept. So this fight is happening because Jamus has told Lily that they're getting married, and she says no. And he throws a vase at her, misses, and she just turns around and walks right out the door. She says the implication is that like this is a very dangerous thing to do, that she shouldn't turn her back on him and just walk away. But I don't know,
his aim's for shit.
His aim is for shit, seriously. But as she says in her inner monologue, like she knows that the rumors of the power in his eyes, the power is like a magic. It's an actual like power that he has of some kind. The rumors of the power behind his eyes are all rumor, that there is barely a spark. He is a weakling. He can't hurt her. He won't hurt her. She knows this.
See, so it's implied. Well, there's no description of him. It's just implied that he's a mediocre white man.
Well, yes. Oh,
okay.
God, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, no. It never really even occurred to me that an abuser would be anything other than a mediocre white man.
Yeah.
Really, truly. I mean, maybe a mediocre man of some other, but mostly white.
No, it's, yeah.
But the opening scene is him chucking a vase at her, and I was like, I can picture this man.
Yeah.
And he looks like Dwight Schrute.
I was picturing Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, sure. There you go.
It looks like he's got a thumb for a head. Fucking useless.
Just some jagoff.
Fucking pathetic.
Some dickhole. Anyway, so she leaves. She goes and she gets in her car, and she drives immediately to the Spire, which is a massive tower at the edge of town. They have built their town around this spire because this spire is where the gods live.
Okay.
She pulls up, and it is essentially implied within the storytelling that everything that happens from this point forward has been planned and executed by the goddess Esther. So, like, if it feels like a fait accompli or it feels like a Deus Ex Machina, it fucking is. It's the old god, Esther,
okay.
the goddess of spring. So she gets to the spire, goes inside, and is escorted through this place, which is this ever-changing, completely unmappable, undescribable, constantly shifting space. When she actually gets to Esther, she's sitting in the middle of this beautiful, gorgeous, lush, like glen with. She's the goddess of spring, so imagine what that would look like. Yeah. She's this beautiful, very dark-skinned woman with like a large halo of glowing white hair. So I imagine it's just like a big natural afro that is pure white. Mm-hmm. And she offers Lily a deal. The title of this chapter is "Don't Make Deals with the Devil or the Old Gods." So it is the vibe here is you don't do this unless you're in real shit. Mm-hmm. She's in real shit. So she is offering something to Esther. And what Esther tells her is, I will give you power, the power, capital T, capital P, to go back to the human realm and take over the throne from Jameis. He's pissed me off more than enough, my great-great-great-grandson who sucks. I don't want him in charge anymore. Get him out. And you will take his place for a while until the kid that you're going to bear on behalf of my son comes of age. So basically what she's doing is Esther is putting a new heir on the throne, and she is doing it through Lily.
Okay.
So Lily accepts this deal, knowing that now what she has to do is go and find Esther's son, whomever he may be. She doesn't know yet, and fuck him until she is pregnant. And then once she's pregnant, she can leave this place and she will go back to the Spire. She will declare the child that she is carrying is a direct descendant of the old gods, and she will be given a regency until the child is an adult. Wild, but okay.
Beats the alternative.
I mean, if you know what you're getting into,
yeah,
then go for it.
As long as everybody is consenting adults.
Exactly. So Lily is then led through the Spire further until they reach, they say it looks like a lounge. Like the lounge outside of a club, or like the chill room in a club. And there's like a neon sign that says, I can't even remember what it says. And there are people everywhere, and they are all wearing these masks. Lily is now also wearing a mask. They each have an animal face. It's like a black, it's a very elegant black hard plastic mask that is in the shape of an animal's face. It just covers the top half, so a masquerade style mask. There are cats, and there are a couple of different kinds of animals that are described. And Lily is wearing a rabbit mask. So she pretty quickly figures out what's happening.
Yeah.
She speaks to two women in this space who are wearing cat masks. Their names are Minx and Tabby, I think. And they sort of tell Lily what's happening, but not really. They're very catty women. No pun intended. No pun intended. They're very catty women. I could not tell what their motivations were from the very beginning. So whether or not they were trying to help her or hurt her, I don't know. But they were there, and they were telling her things, and they told her the one important thing that she needed to know in all of this, which is you can't take the mask off once you're here. If you take the mask off, you can't leave again. So she's going to have this mask on for the rest of the time that she's here, no matter what happens to her. Eventually, she is taken to a room and given a card for the prince that she is about to meet. The cat women had called him Ebi.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And he is the Easter Bunny.
Yeah. I mean, it's right in the title.
It's in the title, but
it's in the show notes. I mean, you know what you're doing here.
I wasn't entirely sure what to expect, and I don't know why I wasn't, because I looked at the cover, and the cover fully explains what you're getting into when you see it, but I wasn't sure what to expect. It's exactly what it sounds like. He's a big fucking rabbit.
God.
Yeah. He's
a sexy humanoid.
A sexy humanoid white rabbit. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
The most chiseled bunny jaw I've ever.
mean,
his ears have abs.
Seriously, look at him. Look at him.
Look at his little ears. Look at those little packs.
Oh my God. He's adorable.
Look at his vascularity.
Oh my God. He's so cute, but he's a giant fucking white rabbit guy.
God.
And I can't take it. I thought maybe this was like an exaggeration or something. It's fucking not. He's this all the time.
Hey, let me guess. 7 foot tall.
Yeah, more like 8.
Yeah.
With the ears. I mean, like he's huge, gigantic. I mean, I'm not saying it squicks me out that he's a giant rabbit, because I really don't care that he's a giant rabbit. It's just shocking to think about.
Yeah.
It really is. But I watched The Guardians a lot, and Hugh Jackman as the Easter Bunny is not like the worst thought. You know what I'm saying? Like a giant rabbit. It's not the worst idea, but it is shocking. Anyway, back to this story. I'm sorry. So she meets the Easter Bunny, and he is immediately like very
Horny.
I mean, yeah, there's no other way to put it.
I mean, we've only got 66 pages.
I mean, we don't even have that anymore. Let me see.
There's no room for him to go, no, slow down. Let's get to know each other a little bit. Where are you from? What are you into? How do you feel about 8 foot tall humanoid rabbits? No reason.
He is there's a sort of like dominess to him, but this is not a BDSM book, but he is very much immediately like controlling, domineering. The very first thing that happens is he tells her to give him a blowjob, and she does. Weird dick.
Yeah,
not as weird as a lot of the dicks, but weird.
Where does this rate on the weird dick scale?
On a scale from 1 to 10, it's like a 3. I mean, it's not really that weird.
Well, I was gonna say, like, if
one is a normal human penis.
Yep. And then 10 is, what would you say, Cthulhu from Claimed by the Cthulhu, Orpheus, or like Frankie's Funhouse. Like, what's the weirdest
dick we've had so far?
Wow.
The weirdest dick we've had so far is Dominic from Till Death Do Us Part, because it could independently coil itself.
Yep.
And it rattled like a rattlesnake.
Yep. Nope. That's, yep.
Like it was full of bees.
There you go.
So if 1 is a normal human penis and 10 is Dominic the demon dick from Till Death Do Us Part, this one's like a 3. So it is big, because of course it is.
Yeah. I know what show I'm on.
But so it is. It's long and just tapered. It doesn't have a head, so it just tapers to a point basically, and it tastes sweet. Naturally. So she starts to blow him, but she can't get as much of him in her mouth. Like he's huge, and she can't get as much in as she wants to get. Like she wants to like please him. She wants to make him proud. There's this from the very beginning. There's this sort of undercurrent of like unearned enthusiasm for what's happening.
Yeah. Well, then I guess you should have less dick.
I know, right? I guess you'd have a little less penis if you want more of it sucked. Have less of it.
There you go.
That's how fractions work.
Hi, welcome to Sex Science with Katie and Carl.
So eventually she's like, I can't get what I want out of this. I can't get what I want. And he's like, oh, do you want me to fuck your face? Yes, I do, please. Thank you. Thanks.
How? It's like you read my mind.
Exactly. So he fucks her face real good, like the tears streamy, like she's covered, like she's really glad she's wearing waterproof mascara, but her lipstick is a fucking mess. She's having a fantastic time. At one point, he says, if I do it too hard, just bite me.
I didn't like that sentence.
I mean,
I'm not a fan of that sentence.
Your magic Easter bunny dick might be less inclined. I don't know. I wouldn't. Don't bite.
No. You know that, does he have
Freaky
like for like, you know, the kind of grass, like the fake shimmery grass, is that what his pubes look like that you get in baskets?
Oh my God.
Does he have Easter eggs for testicles?
Please,
Plastic.
please, can he have Easter grass for pubes? You know they make edible Easter grass now.
No.
Yeah. Well, it's just long strands of like coconut.
Still not a fan.
Still, I think it's great because Easter grass is really bad for the environment because it's just long strands of plastic.
Yeah.
Like you get the plastic stuff. So I mean, at least get the edible stuff. It's
Okay.
biodegradable. But yes, I hope that his pubes are Easter grass and that his balls are Easter eggs.
Like plastic, or like they're colored.
Big plastic Easter eggs that rattle and you shake them to try and figure out
what's
inside.
in there.
Is that the future king of the valley?
No, that's a quarter.
So he fucks her face until he finishes, and his cum, because of course it does, tastes like marshmallows.
I was gonna say it's got to be marshmallow fluff.
She says it's like watered down. It's like thin, warm marshmallow fluff. I know.
Didn't like that sentence
I
either.
know. I know. I've been thinking about it all week though. It's been cursing my brain. So now I've shared it. It's like the movie from The Ring.
I was just
I've
gonna
made
say.
a copy. I've spread the message.
And now you're hearing it. Now you got to deal with it.
Exactly. So he comes marshmallow fluff. And like
no, watered down.
Not watered down. Thin. Warm. Marshmallow fluff.
Stop. Can I quit my own podcast?
Nope.
Damn. All right.
I won't let you.
She won't.
I don't know how to do the editing. You can't quit. I don't know how to do this.
It's fair.
Thank you. So he comes a lot. A lot.
Shock.
And she ends up like just coated. And I was like, the idea of being coated in marshmallow fluff is the worst thought of my life.
I am never, ever going to be able to watch the original Ghostbusters ever again.
Oh my God. Yikes. Dan Aykroyd covered in marshmallow fluff.
All of them.
Mm-hmm. For some reason, it's Dan Aykroyd that I imagine the most.
Won't look too much into that.
Immediately after this, we flip into a cunnilingus scene because, of course, we do. Jack is a generous lover.
Does he eat her out the way that bunnies do? Like, does his nose move into the tongue?
Oh my God, does it?
Does the tongue move real fast like they're drinking water?
When he smiles, like she says his smile looks kind of evil, and I don't know if that's because it's like a wide, weird rabbit grin with buck teeth or what. But I do hope that his nose wiggles while he eats her out because that's fucking incredible. I love that as a concept.
Rubs her clit a little bit with it.
Aw, that's cute. That's so cute. Wait, are the ears? No, the ears aren't. Ears aren't opposable. Like,
no, but she grabs them.
Oh, you could grab them. I'll be gentle though.
Yeah.
They seem like they're delicate.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, so he eats her out. He fingers her. His fingers are furry, and that feels weird to me. But I had to say it, so now you know. He fingers her. He eats her out. Eventually, like. He encourages her to like just move his head to get what she needs because she can't get there she can't come and until she essentially probably does grab his ears to guide the head around and get what she needs out of it.
Like she's trying to get Channel 6 to work.
Exactly. She wants to watch Days of Our Lives. Once she has come down from the epic orgasm that she has, he's like, you have not been taking care of yourself. Like, because she obviously hasn't had an orgasm in a long time, or at least not one that was given to her by someone else in a long time. He's like, I don't know who has been neglecting you, but I am so sorry, and we're gonna fix that now. So the next thing they do is he's like, okay, now we have to go. You have to come with me because the next part, there's like some kind of magical element to it. Again, it's none of it is laid out, so I don't know what the rules are, but he takes her back to
a shower.
You would think, but no.
Okay.
He takes her back to that like chill room, that waiting room area, and they fuck there. But it seems like like the way that she describes it in her head as she's being fucked by the Easter Bunny while a bunch of people watch. It's like this is this is something that has to be done in a public space. Like they have to do this to prove that it's done, and it has to be witnessed. And I feel like maybe that's not true. Maybe everybody just wanted to see a giant rabbit fuck a lady, and so they were like, bring her back out, man. We need to see this.
Yeah. Pixar, it didn't happen.
Seriously.
Or just do it in front of us. Or maybe, I don't know, a notary?
A notary. Pause to show you this piece of art that is about halfway through the book.
What am I seeing?
You can take it if you like.
I don't know if I want to.
It's Jack.
Yeah.
The bunny. The Easter Bunny's name is Jack.
He's got a fluffy little
and
tail.
He's got a fluffy little tail. But it's just it's a piece of nude art of them getting it on right in the middle of the book that I wanted to show you because he's a big bunny, but he's got a little fluffy tail on his back end.
I really hope that he has so many traits and characteristics of the bunny, but everything's scaled.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that he has just like baseball-sized turds. Just rabbit turds, but they're just like baseball-sized because he's so large. And he just leaves piles of them everywhere in his straw bed.
Oh my God. I do kind of hope that as well. I do kind of hope
His
there's
tail
just giant Easter Bunny shits all over the place.
Look, listener, don't act like that was the line, okay? Don't act like that was the line.
It never was.
Good.
It never was. At the end of this scene, after they get all done fucking in public, it's a fantastic sex scene. I really enjoyed it. She is like near passing out basically because she's been fucked so thoroughly good. He's holding her, and Minx, one of the cat ladies, comes over to ask him if he wants her to clean up Lily. Like, you want me to go take her and get her cleaned up for you?
Now?
Yeah. And he's like, no, you're not getting anywhere near my bride today. Pause. Lily's like, what do you mean bride? What the fuck are you talking about? Bride? What? And he's like, oh, yeah, she didn't tell you everything, did she?
No, I thought I was just a fuck puppet.
My mom never tells everybody everything they need to know, apparently. So she is his bride. And really all that comes with that is that she can come and go as she pleases now. And she can come back and see him whenever she wants. He gives her a necklace that has a little egg on it, like a little tiny, I think it's a little tiny egg. And she can just hold it and think of him, and she'll just appear there anytime she wants to, which is nice because they develop a very sweet relationship in all of this. After that happens and the bride explanation happens, he takes her back. They get cleaned up. He takes her back to his rooms, and then they spend an unknowable, indeterminate amount of time fucking. From that point on, it's sort of explained as like we drifted in and out of consciousness for several minutes, hours, days, weeks. I don't fucking know. Time doesn't exist here. It's like Vegas.
A fortnight.
Exactly. And eventually, the magic decides they've done enough fucking because she suddenly has a doorway. Like, there's just suddenly a door in the room. So it's like, oh, she's knocked up now. She can leave. Exit this way. And it's literally like a door with a big exit sign over it. Exit pursued by a bear. So she's officially knocked up, and she officially has the power now. She can see it in her own eyes. There's like a red spark of magic in her eyes. She gets herself all dressed. One assumes that while they were hanging out, they also got clean. Between the hanging out and fucking, that there was cleaning and eating and all other sorts of things that were happening.
Came in and hosed her off.
Yikes. Hosed her off. I don't know why that sounded so bad to me.
It sounded necessary to me.
A nice bath. I don't know. I guess soak it off.
I don't know. I mean, that was on her for a while.
That's what I'm saying. Soak it off like a lasagna pan.
Power wash. Get the green nozzle. Get the green one. The one with the one that does the really wide it's all over.
Oh my God, Jesus.
No.
So she gets dressed, says goodbye to EB, who is like, please come back soon. Please come back as soon as you can, because apparently he loves her now. I don't think they say the I love yous, but it is implied very clearly. The emotions are strong. They have fucked each other into love, I guess. She walks out the exit and is immediately in Jameis's apartment. It's the next morning. Who knows how long she's like been in this space, but it's the next morning in the real world. And she just walks directly into the kitchen. She just appears there. And a bunch of the security are like, what the fuck? But he doesn't notice. He has no idea. He's like, where the fuck have you been, you bitch? How did you materialize in my kitchen? No, but where have you been?
Hey, that is a question that is none of your business.
Exactly. She tells him to get out. She's like, you don't have power anymore. Get out, leave, goodbye. And he chucks another vase at her. But now she has legitimate power. She just stops it in the middle of the air.
Yeah.
And just plucks it out of the air and sets it down. And tells him to get the fuck out. He's not in charge anymore. She's in charge now. He's like, you bitch, what did you do? Well, what the fuck do you think I did? I have more power than you, so it probably means I went and talked to your grandma, who's way pissed at you, by the way.
But your mediocrity.
Yeah. You're going to want to leave, and you're going to want to leave soon, is basically what she says. Like, not just out of this building, but out of town. Because without power, you have no more power. Without power, everybody you have pissed off in your lifetime is coming for you. So you need to leave. Goodbye. Get out. And that is the end of the book. She has taken over. She surveils her kingdom with her tiny little Easter baby in her stomach. And that is the end of the book. It is a perfect little morsel that leads you right into the second book is Banged by the Easter Bunny, which is a full 285 page book.
We get another 220 plus pages of that?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's like a full, there's like power struggles and old gods and new loyalties and coming and going between the spire and the tower, and like there's all sorts of stuff it sounds like it's actually like big political intrigue shit.
There's a cameo by the Cadbury Bunny. It's crazy.
But also way more of the big fucking Easter Bunny guy. Yeah. I mean, what's not to love about Jack the Big White Rabbit? You know, he was great. You ever wanted to fuck the Trix Rabbit? It's more like the Trix Rabbit meets Mr. Clean.
I was gonna say. Put it in your mouth. It's magically delicious.
Magically delicious. Though that's Lucky Charms.
Still though.
Tricks are for kids. He's
not
for kids. None of this is for kids.
No. Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. But anyway, yeah, that was Railed by the Easter Bunny, and it was a delightfully fun little romp.
That was absolutely perfect.
Fantastic.
Well, I am so glad that is the book that you chose.
Yeah.
For this week,
yeah.
Because it is such a breeze. This is, again, folks, this is a very short episode, but don't worry, because I don't know what you're gonna be into for the So What Are You Into segment, but I know what I'm gonna be into, and I can't wait to talk about it.
Well, so why don't you go first then?
Because I don't like to.
Because I don't wanna.
Last week I got to finally remember to watch what turned out to be one of the most fascinating documentaries I've ever seen in my life, and that is the movie The Barkley Marathons, The Race That Eats Its Young. I have been fascinated and obsessed with the Barkley Marathons ever since I first read about it, but I kept it to myself and kept it quiet because I knew if I ever said anything to Katie about it, she would murder me in my sleep, because I'm an idiot and would love to try this.
Yeah.
The Barkley Marathons is an insane race. The 2024 edition was just ran, and I don't want to make any. Something happened that was historic in this race, but it's not a race. It's not a marathon. It is a fucking trial of insanity. There's an application, but nobody knows how. You have to know somebody who knows how to, like. You have to know a person. It only costs $1.60 and then like an item. And
yeah, the entrance fee that year was white T-shirts.
white button-up shirts.
Oh yeah, white button-up shirts or flannels. It was flannels.
Yeah, it was flannels right.
Flannels and a license plate from the state that you came from, or the place that you came from.
If it's your first time.
Oh, okay.
But you're in the mountains of Tennessee, and it's supposed to be 20 miles, but everybody believes it's 20, like closer to a marathon. But you have to do this loop through the mountains, and the route changes every time. And you have to do 5 loops. You have to do this 5 times, and you have a 60. I think it's a 60-hour time limit. And if you do 3 loops, it's called the fun run. It's just I can't. It's there. Every time I think of another thing to say about it, I think of something that's even fucking crazier than the last thing. There's no other way to describe it. Google it. Go. I believe there's another documentary that's available on YouTube about the Barkley Marathons. But the one that I'm talking about, the Barkley Marathons, the race that eats its young, is available on Peacock right now.
Mm-hmm. So
if you have Peacock, I cannot encourage you enough. It was so fascinating that it made Katie stop what she was doing, which she was in the process of writing, because it was just like it was just insane what the lengths that these people were willing to go to.
Yeah,
they have teams, like they're usually their families.
Yeah.
Caring for them, feeding them.
Yeah.
Like
they come back to camp. They've got 10, 15 minutes before they're going to go back and do another 20-mile loop.
It depends on when they want to go out.
Well, yeah. But most of the the ones that I'm watching, this guy's got. I want to be out of here in 15 minutes. 2 people are dressing his feet because they're fucked because he's already walked for 60 miles.
Yep.
And then someone is shoving food into his face while someone else is repacking all of the food that's going to go in his pack. You need 9 people. You need a pit crew to get you through this.
Yep.
It's wild.
Yep. And it could start there's a conch, they blow a conch shell, and it could be anywhere between midnight and noon. And from the time you hear the conch, you have 1 hour to the start. And then for the 5th loop, it's like the first 2 loops are one clockwise, the second 2 loops are counterclockwise, and then whoever's in the lead or whoever goes out first on the first one gets to pick which direction they go, and then everybody else has to go an opposite direction, so you're crisscrossing people. And the way that you prove that you found the checkpoints throughout the race are by finding a book, and you're given a bib number, so you have to bring back the page number that matches your bib number.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 11 different books. Again, I've always been fascinated with it, and now that I've seen the marathon, the documentary, I'm even more obsessed. But that said, I do not think I could complete this. I would love to try and do 1 lap, 1 loop. If I could do 1 loop of the Barkley Marathons, I would consider that a triumph. The problem is, if I succeeded, I would want to do it again.
Of course you would.
And there's always one person in the race who has, it's like their first time. They probably have no business being there. They're giving bib number 1 because they're expected to be the first one back. And sure enough, in the year that the documentary was filmed, the guy, I think he was gone for 8 hours and only made it 3 miles or some comical thing.
He got all fucked up and lost and made his way back. And
yeah. So again, I could talk about it all night. I highly recommend, at the very least, just Google it and read about it, because I'm gushing and not doing it justice.
Mm-hmm.
What are you into?
See, I'm glad this is why I asked you to say yours first, because I was going to say the Barkley Marathon's The Race That Eats Its Young, because it was such a damn good documentary. I recommended it to my sister. It was the first thing I did when I got to her
house.
Wow.
Today.
Jane loves documentaries.
Oh, good.
So I was like, hey, if you should watch this one. I think you will really enjoy it. So I'm going to pivot and say, you know what? Let's stay on the theme of documentaries. I am into a documentary called Wildcat. Let me find my phone and tell you more about it, because that documentary was so good. Wildcat is this incredible documentary about this guy named Harry Turner, who lives in the forests of Peru and specifically rehabilitates baby ocelots.
Oh, yeah.
Whose parents have been poached for release back into the wild. He is the only person who has ever successfully done that.
I think I might have seen this. At the very least, I've seen a trailer or something.
I showed you the trailer and I told you all about it because I went to the movies
by
myself to watch this.
Yes.
And I sobbed for like an hour straight.
Now I remember.
Because Harry is this very sympathetic. He is a soldier. He has incredible PTSD. He already had mental health problems to begin with. So there is a lot of, check your trigger warnings because there's a lot of time spent focusing on his self-harm, including like they don't film it, but he's doing it off screen, but what he does is he goes out every single day to this. First, he raised the ocelot indoors because it was little and it needed to be kept in a safe and warm place. And then when it was older, he went out every single day and lived in this big enclosure with it and taught it how to be a wild ocelot. But that meant that he was getting hurt all the time. He was like, this is not the kind of thing anybody can do. You watched him struggle to do this for a year, almost a year. And then spoiler alert, the first ocelot that he was doing this with died. And so then you're sobbing going, what the fuck, I just got so attached to this fucking ocelot and now he's dead. And then they do it again with a second ocelot and he go through the entire journey with Harry and this cat and the woman that he lives with who is in charge of this animal rehabilitation effort in Peru. It's just this incredibly beautiful story of this incredibly beautiful but broken person finding any kind of purpose with a creature that you should not be able to build a relationship with, but he does. And I've got goosebumps.
Mm-hmm.
It was chilling and beautiful. And at the end of it, he goes back to England and is like trying to have a normal life. And his family is like, even know what to do with Harry. Like he seems so broken because he doesn't have this cat anymore, but he had to release it into the wild and it was doing really well. Like it was the only one that's ever survived like this. And it was so cool, but also so heartbreaking. So there you go. That's what I'm into.
I was like, why does that sound familiar? I remember now.
Because I was a wreck afterwards and I told everybody about it.
Because I was like, you get out of the house, go to the movie, go get out, go do something. And that was what you...
Yeah. Well, I didn't... When I saw... So... A former soldier develops a bond with a baby ocelot in the jungles of Peru. Great documentary.
Yeah, I would never watch it. I'm sure it's fascinating. I'm sure.
Yeah. I've already. When I came home, I told you that you can't watch this one.
Nope. Animals in Peril?
Yeah.
Nope.
But it's beautiful, and I loved it. I thought it was one of the most incredible pieces of documentary filmmaking.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah. I couldn't do it. Homeward Bound, all those like late 80s, early 90s. Live action, like the ones where it's just like live action animals with famous people giving them voice. Can't do it. We saw the stage version of Warhorse with the giant puppets that were just like, suggestions of horror. I mean, they were horses, but they were like wire. That's too much. The film Warhorse fucked me up. The Peter Jackson King Kong cried like a fucking baby at the end of that movie. Animals in Peril and I do not make... How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
The first one, when Toothless is like strapped to that thing and he gets under the water. Can't do it. But I'm glad you liked it. But what I can do is apparently watch people torture themselves for nearly 3 days. That I'm fine with.
I guess.
I draw the weirdest goddamn lines.
You're down for it.
What are we reading next week?
Next week, I have chosen Stripped Raw by Miss American, Coffin Nails, MC California Biker Romance. I am very excited for this one because I have been following the author. Miss American, I believe, is a duo who writes under two different names. The other name is K.A. American. I have been following K.A. American on TikTok for a very long time, and I've been trying to find a book of theirs to do, but they're all very long. And then I realized they had more than one pen name, and these ones are shorter.
Oh, good.
So I can do one from this collection instead. So next week, Stripped Raw, Coffin Nails, MC, California Biker Romance by Miss American. Very excited.
I'm glad you're excited. But in the meantime, you can find us on social media. We are on Instagram and TikTok at Cheap Smut. If you would like to send us an email, please do. cheapsmutpod@gmail.com. If you find our link tree in the show notes, the top link is a link to this, the link to this book. We do not get any money for it. It is not an affiliate link. Speaking of supporting the authors, you can support us on Patreon, like these fine people: Stephanie Hawkins, Gemma, Lady Squishy Buns, Tia Esk, Rob Gatika, Angela McNichols, Katie Hurd, Gwendolyn Harper, Seneca O, and Rebecca K. The music that you hear in this and every episode is called Nostalgia by Mackay Beats. You can find it along with thousands of other songs free of charge for you to use at the Free Music Archive, freemusicarchive.org.
And listener, remember, if there is a book in you, write it. And if there's fucking in it, I'll read it.
And then she will come on this show and explain it to me for your entertainment.
Whether or not you're celebrating Zombie Jesus or just having a lovely day at home, I wish you a very happy day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.